What up? What up? I just unmuted my phone and made sure everything else was ready to go. But hey, I have not been live on Facebook in a hot minute, and I thought, how fun would it be to grab a drinkster and do a new series called Brewskis and Branding? So tonight, grab a drink, come hang out, and I'm going to talk about what the heck I've been doing all summer. It's been an eventful summer. If you are a person who's known me for a hot minute, you guys know that I've gone through a huge creative process, a big shedding in the last year of my life. And it really caused me to tap into my creativity a ton more. And it's changed my brand, it's changed the way that I present things in the world. And it really showed me how short life is and how much I want to have so much fun and help other people to fully have as much fun as possible, be as self expressed as possible, and really build brands that bring them life changing money. That's one of my core principles and one of my core values on the earth. So, tonight, I'm going to start by introducing a fresh piece of my own branding. I'm going to be doing an expose on the entire way that I do a rebrand. So we'll do a case study on my company. Across the next week, you'll get to see the thought process behind all of my new branding, what it represents, the symbolism, the color theory, the archetypes, just all the thought that goes into a rebrand. And I'm also going to show you case studies of a handful of our clients who have done full rebrands in like the last 6 to 12 months with me. So we're going to kick it off tonight with one of my very, very favorite people in the world. Her name is Cynthia Alejandra. And by the way, if you're watching live, tell me where you're watching from because I can't see comments yet. So weird. I can see like a welcome comment, but I can't see your comments. So tell me where you're watching and where you're watching in live from and what's in your cup. I'm having a peach white claw. Sounds like a vibe, right? All right, tell me what's in your cup. Let's drop in. Okay, so here's the motto. My work in the world is to inspire people. I post things that I think stretch people's limitations. I've had a lot of women specifically come to me and say, the things that you post inspire me, they trigger me, they make me feel like, God, I wish that I could be so brave. Or sometimes they want me to shut the hell up because I'm expanding and stretching them and like pulling them out of their box. But that's on purpose. I don't expect everyone to post pictures like me. In fact, I don't expect everyone to lay on a couch with stacks of $100 bills and a bottle of Vouv behind them with neon yellow nails, full glam, and a guy in the photo. Like, you don't have to do that working with me. But my level of expression pushes the boundaries, pushes the limits. I want to creatively express because I want people to feel something when they see my pictures. I want them to feel like either I love you or I hate you. You inspire me or you piss me off. But either way, I want you to feel something. This is the point of art. Art is to make the comfortable uncomfortable. Like if you're in a comfort zone and you see something that's true art, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. And the other thing about art is that it's meant to comfort the uncomfortable. So the person who is like already been stretched, they're beyond their limits, they're feeling angst, they're feeling passion, they're feeling intensity. And then they see something that they resonate with, they're like, yes, that. That's the whole point of art. So when I create brand, I'm creating art. And my brand shouldn't look like your brand. And your brand doesn't have to push the envelope the way that my brand does. That's not the point. So tonight I'm going to show you what it looks like to be in your own zone and have your brand creatively self-expressed and how that process unfolds, especially working with someone who worked in Hollywood, was a celebrity stylist, and then, so if you're live, put and then in the chat, and then created a multi 7-figure brand. So I'm kind of the best of both worlds. So yes, I just want you to know you don't have to shoot this when you work with me. This is my level of expression and it's meant to make you feel something. It's meant to stretch you, but this is not my expectation of you. If that's clear, write clear in the chat. By the way, hey Karen, what's going on? Kellyanne Bauer's watching. She said she's coming in hot from Australia. She's drinking an herbal healing tea. I like that. That's for Brewski. I love it. Sarah's watching live. Hey girl, hey. Okay, cool. So working with me, the motto is basically catch a flight, rebrand your life. I think every woman in business should have a friend like that. And actually every guy in business too. Because we tend to get in these comfort zones. We get in these ruts about like how we're creatively expressing online. We have a pattern, we have a way of being, there's a box that we all live in of what we think people expect of us, what they've already seen from us in the past. And we tend to kind of play inside that box, especially as business professionals. And sometimes that box that we're living in ends up just kind of blending into the online space. So you're not getting those clicks, you're not getting those views, you're not getting the client. And the crappy part about this is some of the most talented people in the world, they're getting looked over, and people with flashier branding are stealing the business. And I say that word to trigger you a little bit because how many of you in the chat can kind of relate to feeling like you're just as brilliant as the people who are making way more money than you? Maybe you're overly educated. Maybe you have more work experience. Maybe you have more real life experience. Maybe you have more care for clients, and you're watching yourself get bypassed and other professionals in your industry being chosen. And it has a lot to do with how they present in the online space. Raise of hands in the chat if you've ever felt that before. Like, why am I being looked over? Eleni, oh my God. I saw that this morning. I messaged you. Eleni's watching live. She said, I just got my ticket to the mini retreat. Hell yeah, baby. I'm so excited for you. Okay, we're going to talk about that later tonight, too. October 13th, there's a seat or two left in the room. So exciting. Okay, so my motto when I work with brands is basically I want to inspire you to just get on the fucking airplane and let's rebrand your life. Let's create art together that then goes into the online space, onto your website, onto your landing pages, into your reels, into your carousels, into your posts, onto LinkedIn, onto every freaking social platform that makes it so that people who have known you forever see these images and go, what the hell happened? That's a rebrand. That right there is a rebrand of your life. And this is what I do. This is what I've been doing all summer. I moved into a $1 million historic mansion last year, and I made it my goal to turn this fucking house into a content dream house. And did we ever? The house that I'm sitting in right now, I'm actually sitting in one of the sets right now. This is the Buddha set, but we turned this mansion into a dream house, a content dream house that has 12 different shoot locations inside of it. So that when clients come here, we can customize a shoot to exactly the energy of them, and they leave with a shit ton of client or a shit ton of content. So this is the level of the rebrand. Okay, so how does this work? As a celebrity stylist, someone who has worked on A-listers, thought leaders, people in science, tech, government, athletes, actors, actresses, New York Fashion Week, I have a vision. It's a knack and it's also a developed gift. I'm an artist first. If you can put that in the chat, write artist first. I'm actually not a business person first. And even before I was a mom, I was an artist first. So I'm a visionary and I like to play in the quantum field of possibilities. And if you're not sure what that means, it just means the realm of possibilities. In the quantum field, there's a lot of different avenues and pathways that your life could go down. There's so many possibilities. And when I play into the quantum field, I look at a client and it starts with a planning call. But I go and I feel into their energy. I find out the details of their brand. I find out the details of their vision. Where are they trying to go with this company? Who are they? What's their archetype? What's the energy that they want to bring into the world? And I leave the call and I go into the quantum field. I work with celebrity archetypes. I lean into the client as an icon. I lean into them as a 7 or 8 figure brand. and I come back with the visuals to support it. After our planning call, I present something called a brand Bible. And actually, that's spelled wrong. That's my fault. I did that. I did that typo. That was all me. Okay, so if you're watching live, put brand Bible in the chat. Starts with a planning call. I go into the quantum field. I create a brand Bible and I present this to our production team, our makeup artists, our video team, the client themselves. And from there, we jump into a quantum leap. So, does anyone want to see what a brand Bible looks like? If you do, smash the heart button for me. And I'm going to take a drink of my brewski. Do you need that, Aaron? Will you die? Oh my God. I'm sitting here with my man and he's chronically hot. I'm fucking freezing. Always. This is like the never ending saga of life. Okay, here we go. So this is, oh my God, I feel like I can talk softer now. Thank God. I felt like I was fighting with the air conditioner. Okay, this is the brand Bible for one of my best friends ever. She has been a client of ours for 6 years. We actually met through business. We met at a business conference a bazillion years ago before I ever had kids. And she joined my mastermind. And in that process, she was leaving corporate America and starting a brand that ended up becoming a beyond 7-figure brand. So she's been in my mastermind this whole time. And one of the edges that we wanted to push was taking her from using selfies to run her business to being fully branded. So we're going to take you on the journey of her brand Bible and going from a selfie led business to a personal brand. If that sounds fun, you're in the right spot. Okay. So with the planning call and with the brand Bible, we present basically a document to the client. And the point of the document is that after you work with me, I assume you're going to continue to build your company. And so having this brand Bible on hand is crucial because you could hand it to other creators for you. So if you end up having a personal assistant, a web designer, anyone else creatively or administratively on your team, you can hand them this document and they can be caught up to speed immediately on your brand and have the vision of the brand. Because honestly, if you're a business owner, would you agree there's nothing more frustrating than having a vision in your head of what the brand is supposed to look like and your whole team is on a different page and they're not matching it? If you've ever had this frustration, put frustration in the chat. That was always me. I would have websites built or presentation decks done, and I'm like, it's not how it's supposed to look. Why did you use that font? It's insane. So if you've ever had that frustration, put frustration in the chat. We give this to our clients so that they can catch their team up to speed, their web designers, anyone creatively, and then moving forward, if they ever work with another company in the future doing production, there's a basis, there's a foundation there for them. So the brand Bible covers a lot of different things, and we figured this out on the planning call. Every single company has like core pillars of the brand. What are they representing in the online space? What do they stand for? So we started with that for Cynthia. Now, at the time of this particular shoot, she was leading in the online space, talking about identity work, like the inner person. She leads with emotional intelligence and energetics, so that had to come across in her shoot. She coaches, trains, and mentors executives and people in corporate. So leadership is another one of her main pillars, and it's sprinkled in with energy work and manifestation. So that had to come forward in the pictures. Across this next week, as I show you different case studies, you're going to see every brand looks different. They're not supposed to look cookie cutter. Your brand is supposed to be an expression of you. Your brand won't look like my brand, and it won't look like Cynthia's brand. Your brand is going to be specific and it's dialed back to what do you stand for from the beginning, your content pillars. So that has to go into the brand Bible. And hey, Kendra. Kendra's watching live from Alberta, Canada. Girly, I wish that you were coming in 30 days to the Content Dream House. Can you swing it? I would fucking love to see you. Okay, next, we tailor the entire branding shoot to who do you serve? Who I serve might be different than who you serve. So for me to have a photo of $100 bills stacked underneath my head and a bottle of Vouv behind me, that might totally turn off the kind of client that you are trying to attract. So the next piece of this rebrand is leaning into who are you speaking to? Who do you serve? What's your exact niche? Because if your brand is mostly on LinkedIn, it's going to have a certain energy because you're catering to executives and business leaders. Versus if you have an OnlyFans account and you're mostly on TikTok, would you agree it's a different demographic? If you would agree, put agree in the chat. The pictures are going to look totally different. So that goes into the brand Bible. The next piece that we want to lean into is like, what's the vibe of the brand? What do we want the pictures to express? For Cynthia, she wanted boldness. So as you're watching live, put the word boldness in the chat. She's not this ultra femme, like lover archetype. She wanted to bring forth boldness, not softness, boldness. She wanted her photos to show openness and freedom. So there's a level of softness that we can create there in bringing forth a feminine archetype, but it's more from a place of freedom, safety, and openness, which is very different from like a flowery, soft woman in a meadow, correct? Like it's a different feeling. And on top of that, she wanted women to know that she was a safe space for them where they could self express. So if that's what she wants people to feel, she has to be self expressed. If it's landing, right, it's landing. Then we do things like choose brand fonts. So again, if she passes this to someone else creatively on her team, they know what fonts go with her. And I also want to just sprinkle in here, this was a previous shoot that she did with myself and a creative team. So she had already done this. She's probably shot with us, I don't know, maybe 6 times, I think, so far. Write twice a year in the chat because I want to drive this home for personal brands. Put twice a year in the chat. So we do something that's called content banking. I personally think that it's the most feminine thing that you can do in business because it reduces hustle culture. Basically, twice a year, I got into this pattern, I think, when Maeve was a baby. So, like 3 years ago, I got into a pattern of shooting 2 major rebrands a year. So, twice a year, I book a shoot like this, fully creative directed, extremely intentional. We know what vibe we're trying to bring forward. The wardrobe is planned, the shoot concepts are planned. It takes about a month. But twice a year, I shoot a full rebrand. And I'm thinking through, what am I trying to communicate? What am I selling for the next 6 months? Who am I calling in? What emotion do I want people to feel when they experience the vibe of my brand? Because it's going to jump off camera. So Cynthia has done this with us, gosh, again, since probably Maeve was a baby. So she's had multiple opportunities to shoot a whole rebrand. This was the last shoot that she had done when we created the brand Bible that you're looking for. So she had already kind of done this. If you can see my cursor, write cursor in the chat. You can see like the little blue cursor. So Cynthia had already embodied this thing of like the 8-figure entrepreneur at home, right? The sage vibes, the mom vibes, like the girl building the brand from home. She had already embodied that, right? We'd also taken her into like the black jacket, a little bit more corporate vibes, appropriate for LinkedIn, but very powerful. We had her positioned as like a CEO mom, with the sweater, and it's like, it's cozy, it's at home, but it's still sharp. And then she also wanted to do a shoot that played with a lot of shadows and light because that's part of what she talks about with identity with women. So we had a whole shoot that had her positioned in the sunlight with like shadows on her face and behind her. So she'd already been there, done that, right? Been there, done that in the chat if you're following. So this was her last shoot. But then it begged the question, where do we want to go next? Because it was time for a rebrand. She had kind of been there, done that, got the t-shirt. It was time for her next. So then we lean into a seasonal color guide. And you've got to realize if you're going to do 2 of these a year, which for a multi six figure or seven figure entrepreneur, I would recommend at least two full rebrands a year. And when you rebrand, you can choose a fresh color palette. So we were leaning into a seasonal color palette. We already knew that she's a big fan of neutrals, the browns, the taupes, the blacks, the whites. We knew that. But then I was asking her, like, what else do you want to bring forward? And she was like, I'm really feeling emerald green. I'm being really drawn to emeralds right now. And I'd also love to see some red and some gold, right? Holidays, manifestation, green and gold for money. So we put that into the chart as well as a seasonal color guide. And this can change. This part's not permanent. It's very about mood and where do you want to go for the next 6 months. Then we asked things like, during your shoot, is there anything that you want to catch? And, sometimes she would be like, oh, I think it'd be fun to be like working on a laptop or journaling or doing some meditation. So we bring props to the shoot. And sometimes the client really wants to use props, and other times it turns into a lifestyle shoot. And we really go with the flow of what the client is wanting. But we do bring props. So if you're live, write props in the chat. Now, this is where it gets fun for me. This is the Hollywood side of things that honestly, I can say I'm the queen of the rebrand. I'm the queen of the 1 day rebrand. It takes a full month or so to plan these out to the level that you're seeing right now. It takes 30 days. So put 30 days in the chat. It does take about a month for me to map this all out, create the brand Bible, pass it to the team, get approval, get wardrobe. It's a whole situation. But when we're going to do it on this level, this is what sets apart my work in the world, being the queen of the 1 day rebrand, versus what I think people try to do when they just book with a local photographer and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna book a brand shoot," right? The difference between a brand shoot in your hometown and the content dreams experience is that after the planning call, I'm going to go play in the quantum field. And having styled over 75 different celebrities, I'm able to look at a client and go, what icons do they match energetic archetypes with? So for Cynthia, she's got this delicious Latina flair. She's a jokester. She's sultry. She's a rebel. She's powerful. I went and grabbed a bunch of different archetypes that I think she could channel during her shoot. Now, the importance of me showing this to a client is that 65% of people, this is scientifically documented, 65% of people can't grasp a concept without a visual. So I could have told Cynthia, okay, girl, during your shoot, I want you channeling the 90s Guess campaign models and a little bit of Sofia Vergara and a little bit of young Sophia Loren, and maybe pull some inspiration from the founder of Goss, Rebecca Perez. And I could say that to her. And she might have an idea, but if she's never really seen these pictures, it would be hard for her to channel it. So I go in and I grab pictures of the energetic archetypes that a client matches with, that I see them matching in the quantum field, and I show them to the client so that during the shoot, when she's out in the town, she can channel the Guess Jeans ad, right? With the big voluminous hair and like the lean back position in the chair and the pointed toes. If you guys can see my blue cursor, put blue cursor in the chat because I'm using my cursor, but I don't know if you can see it. And the energy of like leaning forward, the little Sofia Vergara vibes, right? It's sultry, but it's powerful. And having the silhouettes and like the tall boots and these different kind of like back arch, a little bit cleavagey kind of vibes. When a client can see what they're channeling, they can channel it. But if I just tell them, yeah, I want you to channel Sofia Vergara, they might not get what that means. So we show our client in the branding Bible, this is the energetic archetype that we're leaning into. This is what I want you channeling. I want you to channel Marciano. I want you to channel Sofia Vergara. I want you to channel a young Sophia Loren. And once the client can see it, they can step into it. If that lands, right, step into it in the chat. Next, again, having been a celebrity stylist, this is my forte. I don't leave makeup and hair to chance. I create a glam inspo board. So I'm passing this to the glam team. So when you shoot with me, you're not doing your own hair and makeup. You're not worried about the look. You're not worried about anything. You literally show up to the Content Dream House. We have a glam team. Your hair and makeup is handled. Wardrobe is handled. Posing you is handled. You know what you're channeling. And it's just a full fucking celebrity vibe. It's literally like stepping into being a celebrity for the day. Everything is thought of. Everything is taken care of. So I created a glam inspo board to hand to the glam team. So put glam team in the chat for me as you're watching live. So for Cynthia, we were going for hair. We wanted big, big volume. See, in her last shoot, we'd done like slick back looks and like, you know, the CEO mom look and the 7 and 8 figure entrepreneur at home look. Like everything was very slick and kind of like flatter, which is fine. Like that's what we were going for. But this time we were going for big, big volume. And for the skin, we wanted contour, contour, contour. Like we actually wanted to see the contour. We wanted to see the shape of her features and an emphasis on a little bit of a cat eye. We wanted brow definition, a nude lip, and possibly popping into a red. So this is a glam inspo. We do not leave this to accident. We have the best glam teams that take care of our clients. Then next, this is the fun part. I'm a creative director. And what that means is shit's handled. At the end of the day, your glam, your wardrobe, the archetypes, it's handled. So I choose wardrobe options for every client. I'm looking at their color palette. What do they desire? What's their current grid look like on Instagram? What have they done in the past? What do they want to lead forward to? And then we create what's called shoot concepts. So for Content Dreams, we do a minimum of 4 shoot concepts. And a shoot concept is basically like we're choosing locations, we're choosing the vibe of the shoot, and what are we going after? For Cynthia's, her shoot concept number 1, this is fun. This part is fun. Okay, Cynthia had like a spiritual awakening, basically. She was in another country. She was kind of between worlds, spiritually, half awake, half not. And she had a spiritual awakening. She had a vision, actually. And she messaged me from South America. She sent me voice notes. What's up, Alexandra? What's up, girl? So as you're watching live, put spiritual awakening in the chat. Nice. Here's your brewski. Chances popping another brewski. We're doing brewskis and branding. Grab your drink, settle in. We're having fun tonight. This is actually going to become a series too. So if you're down for this and you want more, put more in the chat. If you like seeing like the whole behind the scenes of building a 7-figure brand. Okay. So spiritual awakening. Cynthia had this experience where she was kind of between worlds. She messaged me right after, and she had a vision where she saw in the vision a white lion. And the white lion, she knew instinctively that the white lion represented her feminine energy. And the girl's a hustler. This girl has work ethic like you would not believe. She's a go-getter. She enjoys her work. And if I'm honest, I think she was operating more like a man in corporate in her business. So she has a lot of masculine drive. She acted more like a dude. So she had this vision where a white lion came through, and she knew it was her feminine energy. And the white lion walked in, and it like laid down on the floor and like sprawled out, and it was chilling, just like straight fucking chilling. And then in pounced this black lion, and the black lion was like playful and robust and like wanted to mess around and like jump around. And the white lion basically, like, I think she told me it like got up and turned its back and like plopped back down, like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I couldn't care less about this. And what she felt like this vision was telling her was that her feminine energy was waiting to show up. Her feminine energy wanted to be running the show, wanted to be acknowledged. But as long as that masculine energy that was like so robust and taking over the room and running the show, as long as that black lion was running her show, she was not going to be able to tap into her feminine. So she had this whole awakening and she was like, I want to lean into my feminine. And in that time frame, she also had a clairvoyance, like an intuitive hit to start working with me on a deeper level and develop the brand that could encapsulate both her masculine drive, because I mean, if you're a driven woman, that's not going anywhere. It's part of your DNA, it's who you are. But she also wanted to actually find her feminine energy once again. So that was really the start of us working together on a deeper level. So in this shoot, we had space to do 4 photo shoot concepts. And we wanted to start with acknowledging the black lion. So her power, her edge, a little sensuality. And we wanted it to be moody. We wanted it to have lots of silhouettes. We wanted some stuff that's faceless so that her marketing didn't always have her face in it. Sometimes it could be a detail shot like her legs, her shoes, her foot, a handbag. But it had to feel elevated and moody. So put the words elevated and moody in the chat. So that was shoot number 1. We wanted to be in the silhouettes with the black lion. When I was designing the brand Bible, I suggested poses. How many of you guys have ever done a photo shoot and you're like, what do I do with my hands? Like, you're worried about how you're supposed to move, right? Because you want to get the shot, especially if you're going to invest in a high level brand shoot. Like, you want to make sure that you get some really good stuff. So when we design these shoot concepts, I pull poses and I hand this to Melissa G, who, by the way, is our designated branding photographer. She's a fucking dream to work with. And she has shot for multiple different 7 and 8 figure brands. She's shot for Vogue. She's done runway stuff. And so when I pass this to Melissa G, then she knows how to direct you during your shoot to make sure that you're moving your body, that you get the shots that you're going after. So I passed this knowing full well Melissa G was going to get the shots of all the silhouettes, dark feminine silhouettes, and Cynthia postured as an icon. The second concept that we really wanted to play with was the white lion. So put white lion in the chat. Drink. How about we play a game? Every time we say white lion, you drink. This vision that Cynthia had, there was definitely this acknowledgement of her masculine energy and her drive and her as this like icon. But there was also a softer version of her available. So we wanted to tap into that. I thought it'd be fun to do a city concept. So when people come and shoot at the Content Dream House, we also will go downtown sometimes and shoot in the city. And for this particular occasion, we were down at the beach. I think we were in Santa Rosa Beach or something like that. And I was like, okay, let's pull together a look that's light, beiges, creams, nudes. We ended up going with this outfit, if you can see the cursor. Something just drapey, elegant, soft, right? But this was the vibe. This was what we were going for. The white lion, drink. All right, and then photo shoot concept 3. We wanted to take her into the city and shoot the dark lion silhouettes. We wanted to take the black lion into the wild. We wanted to capture her doing urban city life as a CEO. So different outfit, but still the same vibe. And finally, for her photo shoot concept four, we wanted to play with the vibe of an executive in the city. So she has run a family business that's like now far over seven figures. She came from corporate. She formerly was in corporate America over six figures. She built that whole life as a project manager. So she's very familiar with the corporate landscape. So we wanted to give her some elevated, colorful images of an executive in the city. So we leaned into this concept of more of like a green, because she wanted a green, right? She wanted the green in her brand, a green velvety suit. So this was the plan. The plan. Now back to that planning call. As you're watching live, put planning call. This is extremely important in the production notes because here's what happens when a person is stepping into a content shoot where we're batching 6 months of content in one day. The stakes are high, right? You're financially invested, you're getting on an airplane to rebrand your life, you're putting trust into a production team, which can be very, very hard for women in business to do because you're used to holding it all. You're used to micromanaging people. You're used to creative directing everything. You're used to telling people what to do. So, in order for a client to be able to kind of hand over the reins, we have to address the client concerns. So, on this planning call, I'd like to find out, do you have body parts that are concerning for you? Are you someone who gets resting bitch face? Is there any parts of your body that you don't want to show? And this is extremely important because like I said, not everyone's brand is like very sexy. Some people are extremely professional. We have clients that come from a strict religious background. We have clients that don't show their shoulders, they don't show their legs, they have a zero cleavage policy. So we take all of that into consideration when we do things like wardrobe planning and posing. I also like to ask, what do you want people to feel? So when you post this over the next 6 months, what do you want people to feel? What does our team need to know in preparation for styling you? So this is a place where Cynthia was like, dude, my hair goes flat. Like you need to go to the gods with Volumizer to make this happen, right? And what are people looking forward to out of the experience? We also reverse engineer all of your branding around your offers at that time. It's imperative that we know, what are we selling with this brand across the next 6 months? Because if the point is to create a solid personal brand that converts sales and gets you money, we have to be able to tell our production team, what does this person sell? Because that creates the mood of the entire brand. So that's a brand Bible in a nutshell. From start to finish, this is the document where we create the vibe of the shoot. If you'd like to see what happened after that and see the results, put the word results in the chat for me. Otherwise, I'm happy to just go drink my drink. But I really want to show you because it's phenomenal. Actually, can you tap me up? Thanks, babe. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. So let's talk about this shoot. In a single day, our clients on average shoot probably 500 to 1,000 images. That's pretty normal because the camera's just going. Out of that, Melissa G and her team pick the 100 most iconic images of the day. On average, our clients come and shoot for a half day. Actually, what happens in a single hour is fucking insane, but like a half day is great. Some people shoot for a whole day, but it's on average a half day. And they leave the Content Dream House with 100 iconic images and hundreds of BTS videos. The importance of the videos are, we know that reels and carousels are two of the biggest things that go viral right now. Can you write long form posts and put images with it that crush? Yes. So images matter. Images matter for websites, they matter for landing pages, they matter for branding, they matter. The images really matter. And also, video matters. In my opinion, I think it's silly to do a branding shoot without having hundreds of videos attached to it. So when a client shoots with us, they end up leaving with 6 months of content in a single day. And we've measured this because this has been several years in the making. I think we started doing this when Maeve was a baby. So Maeve just turned 4. We've been doing this for several years. And on average, clients will use their images and videos that we curate for them for a minimum of 6 months, sometimes 12 months. So when I say the shoot's robust, it's insane. You come for a shoot, you leave with over 100 images, hundreds of videos, and a quantum expansion. I want to hang out here for a second around this idea of quantum expansion because when we stylize a shoot, it's supposed to shock you. It's supposed to be 3 degrees beyond your edge, beyond your comfort zone. The clothing should make you ask, should I be wearing this? It's not supposed to look like where you've already been and what you've already done. It's supposed to push the envelope. The effect that we're going for is we want you to post your images and your videos. And that first whole month, have people going, what the fuck happened? What are you doing? And this is the effect that this work has on our clients. They take their shoot, they step for a day into the next iteration of themselves. They step into their 7-figure self, they step into their 8-figure self. They literally be it until they see it. I want to make an important distinction here. This quantum expansion, it's not about playing dress up and playing fake it until you make it. It's not what this is. This is you deciding that a quantum leap is available. Instead of waiting for it to happen, you be it. This is manifestation 101. You don't fake it till you make it. You literally step into that version of yourself for a day and you be it. Then you go home having hundreds of pieces of content and you continue to post these images and these videos. And at first, they should shock you. It should feel like, oh my God, is that me? That's typically like what our clients say. Sometimes they get their pictures back or they just see them on the back of the camera during their shoot and they just start crying because they're like, oh my God, is that me? Yes. But it's because there's been so much thought and intention put into you stepping into the next iteration of your brand and you're seeing it materialize in real time. You're seeing your future state. You're seeing the you of a year out, but you're stepping into it that day. So the quantum leap that people have, it starts the day of the shoot. They literally feel, what is it like to be a celebrity for the day? What is it like to have a glam team, a wardrobe stylist, people at your service, people posing you, people creative directing you, people thinking about you, making sure that you ate, making sure that you have drinks, hyping you up? As you're watching live, put hype team in the chat. Hype team. See this piece right here, the hype team. Working with celebrities and being like in a green room when I was younger, I realized that almost every major celebrity, they didn't walk in by themselves. They had an entourage. And sometimes part of that entourage was literally like a hype man. It was not just like a random quiet personal assistant. It was someone helping their energy stay peak. When you shoot with us, you experience that. You've got people walking around with a physical camera, iPhones, professional video cameras, and they're hyping you up the whole time. They're telling you how great you look. They're keeping this energy high. So there's never ever feelings of awkwardness. Because I've sat through that. Like I've done brand shoots in the past where it just feels awkward, where you're like, do I look weird? But no one's saying anything to you. No one's being like, yes, girl, yes, hold that pose or move your arm. Hell yeah, you look so good. Like when there's none of that, you feel weird. So during the shoot, we have a whole hype girl team that's like vibing you up the whole time. There's never a dull moment. We're having dance parties. We're like shaking champagne bottles. We have a playlist going. Like the feeling is insane. And you actually step into the quantum field, into the next level of you, and you're never the same. Clients who do this, they're like literally, they're like, I will never be the same after this. I have touched magic. I've touched a piece of me that I didn't know existed, and I will never be the same. People always say that. So here's the results. Here we go. This is the black lion in the city. I would say mission accomplished. We've got the boots. We've got the bag. We've got the volume in the hair that she was like, you gotta volumize my hair. We pulled in the red lip. The jewelry is iconic. The poses are iconic, right? I think we nailed the Guess ad in the middle. We've got the detail shots on the side that are more faceless. And by the way, Cindy was extremely proud and excited that she'd been featured in Goss. So there was a like newspaper printout of her Goss article, and we had that as one of the props in the shoot. How fucking fun is that? So next up, we've got the white lion in the city. Does the outfit look familiar? It's literally the outfit. It's the outfit from where I was like holding the cursor. It's softness, it's femininity, it's happiness, it's joy, it's relaxation, it's full feminine energy. This concept right here, the black lion silhouettes, this was everything. It's the deep slit, it's the way that her hand is draping over the top of her. It's that softness meets power. It's the volume in the hair. It's the look on the face. It's the way that her elbows angle away from her body. It's seeing the curves of her silhouette. It's softness meets power. And God, this image right here is the look in her eyes, right? We nailed it with the contour, the brow definition, right? Everything that we mapped out is expressed here. And the detail shots, right? The shoes, the pose, everything. So these are the results of her shoot. Then we did the executive in the city. She didn't want to go with like a stuffy black suit. She wanted velvet. She wanted green. She wanted a red lip. Nailed it. If you can agree that we nailed it, put nailed it in the chat. This whole shoot was the juxtaposition. This was the vision that she saw. This was the next iteration of her brand. She had already shot the whole like, CEO mom vibe. She'd done the shadows and light. This was the next iteration of her brand. It's boldness, it's empowered feminine energy. It's a feeling of she's very expanded, and so you're safe to expand with her. It's the dark lion or the black lion meets the white lion. By the way, drink if you're drinking, because we said white lion. That's the game. You got to play. And because we could, so if you're watching live, put because we had a beach at our disposal. So why the hell not? At the end of the shoot, we took her outside, took her out to the beach, and she had a whole feminine energy shoot dressed as the black lion. So again, it's this juxtaposition of power and boldness meets femininity and softness. I think we fucking nailed it. That's a rebrand. But what about yours? All the images that you can see on the right, this was my recent rebrand. And if you can't tell, they're completely different from Cynthia's. Later this week or early next week, I'm going to talk through my recent rebrand, the imagery behind it, the color symbolism, the poses, the props, why we chose what we chose, what we were trying to express. Because every single rebrand is going to be completely different. Your images and your rebrand wouldn't look like mine. And they won't look like Cynthia's because everyone has a different energetic signature, a different archetype, a different plan for what they're bringing into the world. But I think it's appropriate for entrepreneurs to start thinking about plotting their rebrand. See, up until I did this shoot on the right, there was a way that the world saw me. There was a box that I lived in, a relationship that I lived in, an energetic archetype that I lived in. There was a way that people expected me to be. And my rebrand was about breaking the box. And for some of you, it's exactly the same. Up until this point, so as you're watching live, put up until this point in the chat. Up until this point, people have seen you in a certain light. They've seen your brand, your website, your offers, your work in the world, the way that you express. People have seen you in a certain light, and it can kind of turn into a box. And the box can start feeling more like a coffin because you're dying in there, and so is the brand. Plotting your rebrand is about breaking the box. It's about stepping into the next iteration of not only your visuals, but your money. This is the vibe. So it's not an accident that you're seeing this tonight. If you're tuning in live to this, I want to tell you, you didn't see this by chance because no one finds this whole concept by accident. In fact, people don't tune into things that they're not on the same energetic frequency of. You will, okay, let's put it this way. If you're not a Pokemon fan, you're not going to see fucking Pokemon in your feed. Chance is laughing at me because he's a Pokemon fan, and now I get all the Pokemon shit in my feed. Okay. If you're not an NFL fan, you're not going to be fed a bunch of NFL stuff in your algorithm. You see things in the online space that you're an energetic match for. And that's how you stumbled across this. Your personal rebrand is in your quantum field. It's in your energetic field. You doing a shoot and stepping into a next level of yourself, that's in your quantum field. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen this. So you're not seeing this by accident. But if you actually want to do it, we've got 30 days. Here's what I mean. It's currently what, October 16th? No, sorry, September 16th right now. Okay. So we're 30 days out from the next Content Dream shoot. Here at the Content Dream House, it's an hour east of Atlanta. Our photographer who shoots for Vogue and other 7- and 8-figure brands is coming into town because we're putting on some events the week of October 13th through 17th. We've got 30 days to do everything that you just saw. The planning call, the brand Bible, the quantum leap. And the important thing that I want to say here is that the first time that I did one of these shoots and really went for it, wardrobe, hair, makeup, shoot concepts, traveling across the country to work with a photographer, the first time that I did this, I planned it in October. At that time, I was averaging $30,000 to $60,000 per month revenue in my business. I did a day-long shoot of pure embodiment, stepping into the next level of myself in this shoot. This was in October, so put October shoot in the chat. I shot the content in October. I started taking it into the online space, using it for my offers, my branding, and letting it remind me that like that version of me does exist. I hadn't tapped into it before, but she exists. And I decided to be her until I saw her. Not fake it till you make it, be her till you see her. The shoot was in October. By Christmas, I had a $120,000 month. That was like a 2 to 4x in revenue. And it happened in one season. It took one fiscal quarter, one season, 3 months to see a double to quadruple of my previous sales. And it started with a rebrand. And it wasn't just any rebrand, it was stepping into the next level of who I wanted to be in my company, in my energy, in my life, and in my business. So there's a lot of people that see my content. They know that I do these brand shoots. They've seen it talked about and they go, Xtina, that's on my bucket list. I'm going to do that next year. And what I want to say here is you can wait, but what if this is your season? So like you can put off doubling or tripling your revenue. You can do that. Like that's an option. You can put it off. But imagine the difference between starting now, booking your planning call, getting your brand Bible, and shooting your content in 30 days. Having it for Black Friday launches, having it for holiday launches, having it for all of Q4, which by the way, the most money in the online space is exchanged in Q4, the fourth quarter, October, November, December. That's when the most money passes hands. So yes, you can wait and the price will go up. The investment will be higher and you might miss your season. And the crazy part is you'll never know what could have been unless you do it. So your personal rebrand is available. We have about 2 content dreams, which is like the full shoot that I was describing, and a couple mini sessions open the week of October 13th through 17th. So if you want details on that, I'm going to talk through it. But I want to tell you, this wasn't an accident that you saw this tonight. And if you tune in for future ones, it's not an accident. Nobody finds this by accident. And you're just one fiscal quarter away from everything looking completely different if you choose for that. So here's your next moves. If you're like, yes, okay, what's happening in a month? Here we go. Part 1, October 13th. Can you see the people in the picture? If you can see the people in the picture, put people in the chat. This client, Christina, shot a content dreams. This client, Christina, has shot multiple content dreams. There's me. I do 2 rebrands a year. Marlene, she probably does 2 to 3 rebrands a year. Dr. Lauren has done multiple rebrands. Cynthia, multiple rebrands. Sarah has shot multiple content dreams. Haley has shot content dreams. The women in this room who are part of my mastermind, they have a couple things in common. They're 6-figure, multi-6-figure, 7-figure, and multi-7-figure entrepreneurs. And the common denominators between these women are, number 1, they mastermind together. So put mastermind in the chat as you're watching live. They show up, they put themselves in a wealthy environment, and they bounce ideas off of each other and plot their next season. That's what's happening October 13th. The second thing that they have in common is that they shoot content visuals together in this type of environment, in a wealthy environment, not some cheesy studio in their hometown. So October 13th, we have a mastermind day. It's called Amplify Your Biz. It's a 1-day retreat and it's in my home. You can see the Buddha in the background right here. The Buddha is also in the background in this mastermind room. We have, I think, a 4,900 square foot house, so just under 5,000 square feet, 12 different shoot locations, and we use the house for the purpose of content shoots and masterminding. So I'm literally inviting you into my home. This is a big deal. And this environment, you're going to be exposed to multi-7-figure and multi-6-figure entrepreneurs. Eleni's watching live. She's like, I'm so ready for it. She's coming. Now, the fun part of this is I've run a mastermind since about 2019. with women who think big and women who move big and women who move fast and they are bold so they get the results. And on October 13th, we're going to meet together and we're doing a couple different things. Number one, we're mapping out our Q4s together. So if you're in this room, we're going to talk shop. We're going to talk about your offers, your content, your money goals, what you're pitching in the online space. And we're going to be using the Amplify with AI concept. So yes, we're going to be like doing a live AI class and refining your voice in business, refining your content, and giving you a leg up to crush it in Q4. Now, there's a couple seats left at this, October the 13th. It's 1 hour east of Atlanta. It runs from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And we're literally opening up our mastermind to guests. So if you'd like a ticket to this, DM me right now for a guest ticket to come in and amplify your biz. That's October the 13th. If you want to screenshot this, if you're a details person, which 25% of the population are real details people, they're like, well, what are we going to do there? What are we going to do? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Firstly, one of the pieces of my company culture are we do hot girl walks. So we open up the day, we're going to go for a hot girl walk. Yes, I'm going to make you work out. This is what we do. We're going to hot girl walk to the coffee shop. We have a favorite coffee shop in town. We always go to the same spot. It's our vibe. We're going to go get some drinks and we're going to sit in mastermind and get clarity around your brand first. Okay, now I need the AC. I'm dying. You're right. Secondly, we're going to meet back at the Content Dream House. And we're going to spend all day doing strategy, real-time content building, offer refinement. And if you need business coaching from 7-figure or multi-6-figure entrepreneurs and you want other people's insight into your brand, this is a place where you have proximity to powerhouse women who do not play small. Our energy is contagious. We're going to make you believe that you can do the impossible and then you're going to go do it because this is what we do to people. Now we have extremely limited space. We had 3 seats left that I know of and 1 sold overnight last night. So we have just a couple of seats left for this. It runs Monday, October 13th. That happens to be a bank holiday. It's Indigenous Peoples Day, the rebrand of Christopher Columbus Day. You know, rebrands, they're important, you know, right? It's a rebrand. Okay. So most of you guys already have the day off for this anyways. Fly out on a Sunday, be here for the Monday. It's in Monroe, Georgia. And FYI, your overnight accommodations are separate. You cannot sleep over at my house. The house is full. Okay, investment. Let's talk investment. This particular event, we've never done this before. We opened up the doors for this for $997. Everyone is like, is there going to be another one? I want to come to the next one. There will be another one. It will be 5 times the price. So the next time that we run this, it's going to be $5,000. So it's called Procrastination Talks. You can make a bold move. You can jump on an airplane, rebrand your life, or you can wait and you can pay 5 times more. I'm a capitalist. I don't give a fuck if you pay me 5 times more. I'll take your money. That's fine by me. But I would really love it if you invest your $997, get yourself in the room, and then take that money that you save and stay for a content shoot. Let's talk about that. So here's the vibe. See these girls? Sarah, she's our resident AI expert. Cynthia, our resident energy and identity expert. Christina, our money expert. Me, the branding babe. Okay. The thing about this event is you become like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And most of us don't have 7-figure entrepreneurs in our backyard who are like, let's just hang out and talk shop, right? Most of us have to fly across the country to get this. I know I do. This is why you see us together and we're in Monroe, we're at the beach because we strategically come and sit together in the same room quarterly to get this done. So this is your opportunity to join my $33,000 mastermind clients in person for $997. But if you're gonna put the $997 down, you might as well stay for the week and grab a branding photo shoot. So here's the investment for that. And can I give you some context? Because I would love to. I would love to give you context because people, they claim sticker shock. They're like, oh my God, that's an expensive brand shoe. Okay, context. Me personally, I invested $25,000 to fly across the country and shoot a content bank, plus have the strategy piece behind it to know what the fuck to do with the content. Because how crazy is it for a business leader to go shoot a content bank and have 100 photos and hundreds of videos and go home and be like, what do I do with this? That doesn't serve them, that overwhelms them. And I have literally watched people do this where they will come and shoot a content bank and then they will sit on their content. And personally, I die. So we're not going to let that happen to you. Amplify Your Biz on the 13th. We're going to give you strategy. And then why don't you stay and get your content to go leverage into your strategy? So whereas I spent $25,000 for that, you will not spend $25,000. Here's the two options. The first option is called a Content Dreams brand transformation. It's $20K. This is not just a content shoot. This is a content shoot plus 6 months of support from myself, from Sarah, Cynthia, Christina, and our CEO Academy. So imagine this. You're going to come in person. You're going to shoot 6 months of content in one day. Then you're going to have 6 coaches in your back pocket across 6 months to help you leverage it into the online space. You're going to be so fucking supported. This is not going to be a thing where you have a photo shoot and then you go, what do I do with this? We're going to help you with brand refinement, content refinement, offer refinement, and we're going to show you what to do with this content. So that's option number 1. It's $20K for a full-blown rebrand, the brand Bible, everything, 4 outfit changes, 4 different shoot concepts, 6 months of content, 1 day, and then 6 months of support afterwards. That's $20K. That can also be broken up into installments of 2 installments of $11,000. Now there's a second option. And for me, I would imagine that this would be something that people do as like their first shoot ever if they've never done a rebrand and they're like, oh my God, like, I don't know. I want to do this, but I don't know. Okay, we created something called Content Express. As you're watching live, write Content Express in the chat. This is a mini version of Content Dreams. It still requires planning. We're still going to do a planning call. You still need a brand Bible. We'll still do wardrobe design. It's 2 looks instead of 4. Instead of doing a half-day shoot, it's like half the time. You still get a glam team. You still get creative direction, but it's half the price. Well, quarter of the price. A fully stylized brand shoot, just the streamlined version. And I would estimate you probably get 3 to 6 months of content out of that investment. You don't get the academy on the back end. It's kind of like you come for the October 13th Amplify event. You get a ton of planning done. You leave with your content, and then you're flying solo. And for some people, that's perfect. Maybe you already have a coach that you work with. Maybe you're already a content developer. Maybe you've already got it dialed in, but you just need some fresh wind in your sails. For that person, a Content Express is perfect. So these are the 2 ways that you can work with us in the next 30 days. But here's the thing. With Content Dreams and Content Express, we need time to plan. We're currently 30 days out from this in-person event. We're 30 days out from Melissa G landing on my property to shoot. And this is the last call to say yes. 2 weeks is not enough time to plan, execute, and receive wardrobe. It's insane. So this is the last call. If you're someone who's like, hell yeah, I'm ready to activate. I'm ready for my season. I'm ready for the rebrand. Do yourself a favor, jump in my DMs tonight and let's talk about it. We can do split payments. We can do payment plan options. We can work it out for you, but don't delay destiny. This Christmas or holiday season could be completely different for you. And if you say no to yourself now, you'll never know what could have been. You could be the next me. You could be the next Sarah, who we're going to talk about Sarah in the next week or so, too. Sarah came and did a full blown Content Dreams retreat. She flew across the country and did it. And she ended up hitting $20,000 consecutive months in business from not even having a brand. You could be the next success story. So if you want either one of these, a Content Express to come and mastermind live in person, or the full blown Content Dreams, we have extremely limited space for this and we need planning time. So if it's you, DM me now and join me tomorrow night because we're going to be back with another Brewskis and Branding. We're going to do a completely different case study because I want to show you how different these things can look. I want you to see that it's not cookie cutter. This is a literal quantum leap that is customized to the client. And I want to show you a bunch of different ways that we've done this. So, all right, I'm out for tonight. I'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Bring your brewskis. Let's talk branding. Love you. See you soon.